All right, HBCU Legends fans, as well as Black Sports Insiders, we have another great interview, two interviews on today to be able to deliver to you guys. One, I love this young man because I watched him kind of grow and mature into a young. Well, he's not just a young man; he's a man, in my opinion, and he's also one of those guys that has brought some great excitement to the Southwest Athletic Conference when he was playing for Texas Southern, and now he's at Alabama State. We're talking about the quarterback, none other than Mr. Andrew Body.
Yeah.
How you doing, Andrew?
I'm blessed, Mr. Moses. I'm blessed. I appreciate you having me on the show today.
Oh wow. Look, man, we've been trying to get you on the show for a while. Look, I was saying all the time I've interviewed and talked to Andrew, we never actually had him on the show, and we have to be able to end this. But we're doing it for a good cause, right?
Yes, sir.
Because you are in, I like what you're doing because I see a lot more young college stars are putting on youth camps, and this is your third youth camp
Yes,
that you're
sir.
putting on near your old hometown, old stomping grounds, right?
Yes,
So
sir.
we wanted you to come on in and talk a little bit about that and just share with the people what to expect from your youth camp.
Well, first off, I gotta thank God for putting me in the position to have a camp and really just be able to put myself in front of the kids because I knew that I was literally in that same position not too long ago. So that's really the main thing. Because me coming up at my age, not too many guys really came back to the city, and truth be told, not too many guys really stayed in college. Like you have really a handful, and I know the older generation really was the guys that had guys that were able to go to the NFL and stuff like that. So I feel like it's just an awesome opportunity for the kids to come and just be able to see what they could be, because that's the thing that I'm finna do, man. I'm breaking a generational curse for my city, man. So that's the thing. Once I get to this league and I do what I got to do, it's just going to take my camp to another level. But what y'all can expect is the kids to just, first off, just be able to get a connection with me on and off the field, just because I even got some guys that I had added on some social media, and they'll hit me up every now and then, and they'll be like, hey, Drew, or hey, B, like, is there something that you see like on this drop I'm doing or something like that? Like, is there something that you could point out to help me? And I feel like that's amazing because me being in the position I'm in, there ain't nothing else I would rather do than help the youth. Like, because my thing was me coming into college as a freshman, and during that COVID time, first, not only did I have to attend my university without a visit or even knowing what it looked like, but then I'm over there and I'm really behind the curve, truthfully, from a quarterback position,
Oh
as far
wow.
as kind of
Yeah.
being like a little underdeveloped as far as like the film room and stuff like that. So, I mean, I feel like the earlier the kids start, like the better. So, just kind of putting that nugget in their head while they're in middle school, elementary, young high school, like, once y'all go to college, it's gonna be a different level, and I don't want y'all to be in the same position I was in. I'd rather y'all be a little bit ahead of the curve, or at least everybody's starting off at the same point, so then it's a fair race.
True. Yeah, that's a
Um,
great point, man. A lot of young kids, like you say, once they get into some organized ball, it's not as organized as when you get to the next level and level and next level. But introducing them to it now is great for you to do. How many campers do you usually have there?
I would say the first year I probably had about 50 to 75, and then this past year I probably about had 100 to 150. So
Wow.
honestly, it's really not even about the number, because if I had 10 kids come out there, man, I'm finna train the heck out them 10 kids for real. Like, so I'm just blessed that I have all that love and support coming from my city, and that they just truly believe in me.
Yeah. Now, when you have the camp, do you have some of your fellow players or some of the guys that you used to play with come and help you out?
So actually, and I'm glad you just said that, Mr. Moses. You always be on it, man. You always do be on it. But that's actually gonna be a little surprise that I did have for this year's camp. So usually, so the first year I did have a couple of my old teammates come. The second year, it was a little bit tougher just because the time frame. But this year, I'm gonna have a lot of my old teammates that I played with at Roy Miller High School while I was there in Corpus Christi be a lot of the position coaches and my assistant coaches. Like I have, you're not gonna be too familiar with these names, but when they see it, they'll know who they are. Like I'm gonna have Adrian Lloyd, Bubba Lloyd, Cassius Clay. I'm trying to get Marcel Davis, but I'm gonna have a lot of my old guys out there. My center Austin Lavelle, so I feel like that's gonna be a full circle moment, like completely. Like I'm going literally all the way back to the stomping grounds with my guys.
That's
Wow.
good, man. But hey, you got to do that sometimes, man. And it's like your boys are the ones you rode with and you're going to ride and die with a lot
Yes,
of
sir.
times, right? Kyle.
Well, I mean, Andrew, I gotta say, I got to watch you grow. I was young too, but I'm able to watch you grow and mature and become like a real role model that a lot of these young men can follow. I think that's very important. So I just want to ask you a question. Going into this camp, with you being the role model that you have become, going into the NFL though, you want to continue this camp and grow it with the NFL's Play 60 grant?
I feel like that would be something I most definitely can communicate with them. I'm not as really too familiar with the details with that, but I would probably do something like that and still have my separate camp because really I can't say too much about my next year's camp, but these upcoming years it's gonna be a lot better for the kids as well. So I
Okay.
got something in store for them. But I feel like that would be a pretty dope idea right there to play 60. That's tough.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah, definitely. That was a good one. Let's see here, guys. Here's this camp, the third annual AB1. I love the logo, man. How
I
did you come up
appreciate
with
you.
that design, that
And
concept?
so it's funny, man. I really have a slick art side to me. So I'm literally I want to say this was might have been my sophomore, junior year of high school. Me and my mom, like we were just talking one day and she was like, you need to start getting like your brand stuff together. Like I'm like, should
That's
I do
true.
that? Like for real? Like you think so? And she was like, yeah, like you need to get a logo and stuff. So literally I have an old picture. It was in one of my art journals. I just started sketching. And so I wrote an A and then I put a B on side. I'm like, hold on, that could be like a one right here between the A and the B.
Yeah.
And so sure enough, it really just ended up working out. And then I'm not sure if y'all were too familiar with my first drop. I'm currently rebranding my brand right now because I'm trying to find some new people to plug in. But I had made like a little Uno card, like kind of like but with the one and then the AB in the middle. So I'll probably end up redropping that. But that was something I had also drew up as well.
Really? Man,
Yes, sir.
I love it, man. I thought it was when I first saw it, I was like, man, that's real creative. And it caught my attention and it's unique. It stands out.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
I mean, that's what we love to hear. I mean, we love to hear about the sports, but that creativity, that artistic side, we can see it channeling into your play style, man. Because you're really creative. You feel me? I mean, you when you're outside of the box, it's insane. The work that you're doing back there is crazy. You running around, and I can't do it. So I'm gonna leave it to you
I
every time.
appreciate it. I'm gonna handle it for us, Cal. I'm gonna handle it for us.
Thank you, thank you.
Well, good, good. Now, what days will the camp take place?
So it'll be on the July 25th and 26th. So that'll be that Friday and Saturday, of the week of the 21st, I believe. So the first day, typically the way I try to do it, I'll have the younger guys come on the first day and try to have the older guys come on the second day. But
Okay.
I'm never gonna turn nobody away. So whoever really comes on the first day, I always just tell them like, go ahead. Like if you feel like you want to come back on the second day, like go ahead, come back. Like let's get work.
Cool, cool. Now, what are the ages? Do they have to be specific ages, or you taking everybody from middle school and high school?
So I'm doing 7 years old to graduate and seniors, but honestly, like if it's a kid and they're like 5 and 6 and they've been playing ball, and, they want to come out there and have fun. Like I'm never gonna turn no kids away, my God. Like I can't. I'll be wrong as I'll get out if I did that. So I accept pretty much everyone, even girls could come to the camp as well, because I know they've been implementing a lot of the girls flag football and stuff like that.
Right.
And actually today we had just visited the Atlanta Dream place,
Mm.
and we were talking with the president and a couple of the representatives, and that's pretty much what the president was talking about as well. Like right now, things that's going up is females. Like the female sports world is really kind of
It's
going
pop.
up on the grid. So it's
It
like,
is.
you know what I mean? At this point, that's what it's gonna turn into. Like females gonna end up doing everything. I'm sure they have the capability. So why not?
Yeah, and if I remember correctly, didn't Alabama State have
First
a
D1.
yeah, yeah, you guys got the flag football team, right?
Yes, sir.
That's
Wow,
awesome.
awesome. Man, congratulations on that. Now, guys, it's going to be in Corpus Christi, right? And it's going to be at Taft High School. And you guys can still go online to, is it online to register, or how do they go about registering?
So there's a website. I have it in my Instagram bio. I believe on the flyer I sent you, and I'm finna repost it probably this afternoon, just so it could be back up. There'll be a QR code on there as well that you can scan, and it'll just take you directly to the website.
Okay.
But
Okay.
I was gonna say, as far as locations, the first day is gonna be in Taft, Texas, so it's just 30 minutes away from Corpus Christi. That's where I had really that's where I was raised at for like elementary up till eighth grade, and then the second day will be in Corpus Christi at John Paul.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Two different locations, man.
Yes,
So
sir.
you guys can grab him over at Taft, and then you guys can grab him in Corpus Christi as well. So we're going to have more information about Andrew's camp. We're going to put it on the HBCU Legends site on SI. So you're going to have that available as well. So, guys, it's a great chance to be able to meet Andrew. He's got some what you say, Andrew, got some surprises, some guest surprises that are
I
going to be
do.
there.
Oh,
So you guys should be pretty happy. That's pretty dope to be able to have. So um, let's talk about this, Andrew. When these young guys get there, do they need to bring anything with them, or is it just need to bring their uh, t-shirt and
I would
shorts and
say
their shades or
primarily
whatever?
quarterbacks, if they could bring a ball, that would be amazing. If you're a quarterback, you probably shouldn't leave nowhere without a ball, especially go to a camp without a football. Um, always, well, you gotta have your cleats for the field, for the turf, for the grass, and really just come in some shirt and shorts, just so you ain't too hot. We'll have some waters and drinks available to purchase. I believe we should, and then we'll also have some waters there for the kids. But we would recommend to bring water as well because it's gonna be hot. I'm knowing it's gonna be hot.
Right, right. And if you guys, any business owners out there, you want to help sponsor or donate anything for the camp, this is your opportunity to do so. Also, go to Andrew's site, his Instagram site. You can be able to find the links there, and we're going to also post the links a little bit later on HBCU Legends. Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right, cool. Well, let's talk about Alabama State a little bit. If
Let's
you guys
rap.
didn't know, Andrew's now a Noop.
I am. Yes,
hey,
sir.
Congratulations, man.
I
You went over.
appreciate you.
Oh, what's your line name?
Hawkeye.
Hawkeye. All right. I like that. All right. That's pretty good. So, look, man, you guys have a pretty treacherous road coming out of the gate when you have your first game against UAB. And
Yes,
then
sir.
you guys have to go to Southern and play in Munford Stadium on the road in Baton Rouge. Then you have Miles College, last year's D2 winner, to be able to come and visit you guys. And then the rematch, which I saw you guys in homecoming against FAMU, but you guys going down to
Yes, sir.
Tallahassee this time. And then you have a homecoming that's a little bit early this year for you guys because usually Alabama State's is in the middle of the month, but you guys played Bethune Cookman. Talk
Yes,
about just
sir.
those games as well as that Jackson State game. How do you guys feel preparing for it right now?
Well, first, I gotta kind of correct you a little bit on the word treacherous. I guess it just depends who looking at it. But I'm very excited, man. Honestly, obviously, the first game we got UAB. That's gonna be a solid team coming out. But I just feel like that's a great opportunity for my whole team, really, to put ourselves on display. They're in a bigger conference. They're FBS, so I don't expect nothing else but a
Yeah,
upset.
yeah.
So
And that's what Trent Dilfer's team, if I'm
yes,
not
sir.
mistaken.
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
Coach Trent Dilfer, old Super Bowl winning quarterback, is now the coach over there at UAB. And then you're gonna face the Jaguars.
Then we got Southern. I'm actually pretty excited about that game as well. Just going down to BR. We had went down there with TSU when I was there, but I didn't get an opportunity to play. So I feel like it's gonna be a great atmosphere. They most definitely know how to get the crowd going. So I know they're gonna be booing a lot. So it is what it is.
Yeah, the SWAC West representatives from last season, and
Yes, sir.
Miles is a good one. But the matchup against Florida A&M in Tallahassee, have you been there before to play a game?
So I have not been there, nor have I played against FAMU. So that's another game I'm looking forward to. We had played them in 23. I didn't participate in that game, and then we had played them this past season with State, and I wasn't able to participate as well. So they got something coming.
Oh, okay. Bethune Cookman, the Wildcats, they are rising and they get a chance to visit Montgomery for homecoming. And then you guys go over to Jackson, Mississippi. Now, you did play a game over
I have
there
played
at the
Jackson, yes,
vet,
sir.
and you played them very tough over there, man. You had Coach Deion Sanders and those guys on the ropes a little bit. Talk about playing in the vet.
We're looking forward to it. I came here to Alabama State, and I guess that's like our little rival right there. So we're gonna have to go down to the vet and handle business. That's the only thing we focus on with that. Me and my guys, we've been prepping all summer, all off season, really ever since the last game of the season. So we just preparing, been preparing, and we just letting this food marinate and let everybody eat when the season starts.
Mm.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Kyle?
Hey, I mean, I'm looking at this game versus Southern, and I'm looking at this game versus FAMU. And I think I don't know, man. I'm getting excited for you, Andrew, because I think in that game versus FAMU, I just feel like 400 yards, 3 TDs. I don't know, man. I'm thinking
You
I'm thinking
talking my
a
language.
generational performance in that FAMU game. You got to put it on if you're gonna be on the road, man. I think you can, and I think you will. I'm looking forward to it.
All
Oh,
right.
did we
Looks like
lose
we
it?
lost Andrew for a quick second. We'll try to get him back in. But in the meantime, Kyle, let's see. Yeah, we lost his feed for a sec. But looking at everything, Kyle, and Andrew, and just looking at his career and where he is today, you started watching him from yay high, and now where he is. How do you feel about what you see in his progress and his progression as a not just as an athlete, but as a man?
I mean, honestly, the results for me, you can see them on the field, but you can also see them just like in the community work, especially with events like this. You can see the growth and you can feel it, especially even on our conversation here today. It just feels like wow, this is somebody that you can rally guys behind. You feel me? If I'm in the locker room with this guy, I don't even play football. I'm pretty sure his pregame speech is probably gonna get me hyped up. You feel me? It's the type of energy that you want in a room that you're walking into. So
Okay,
yeah, I think maturity is definitely there.
that's what he's saying about you, Andrew.
I'm sorry about that, Miss Mosey. I don't know what just happened. I getting
You
got an
good?
Amber Alert text and it didn't took me off the chat.
That's okay, man. All right. How do you feel, man? How's everything going? Because I know when we last communicated, you were still doing your rehab and
Yes,
everything.
sir.
How's everything feeling for you right now?
Everything's feeling good, going great. Really just same thing I tell my guys every day. Just gaining that 1%, just making sure you're present and not only being present but getting something out of it. So
Mm.
and rehab, honestly, I don't think that's ever gonna stop. That's just gonna be something I could do probably the rest of my life just to have something going on and just stay strong and fit. So shoulder feeling good, real stable, things coming together. We started our OTAs and things like that. So I've been able to get
Okay.
acclimated in the team type setting. So it's been real good, just really progressing every day.
That's
Well,
awesome.
yeah, man. I can't wait to see you back on the field as well as meeting people as well. Talk about your relationship with Coach Robinson. When I was there for homecoming, man, yeah, he when I mentioned your name, he just starts smiling. He loves everything about Andrew Body. Talk about how you feel under him in year two.
First off, Coach Eddie Robinson, that's my guy, man. That's my guy. From day one, he just always kept it real with me, was real transparent, and didn't tell me what I wanted to hear, but what I needed to hear. So I ain't got nothing but the utmost respect for that man and love for him because he gave me this opportunity to open the door for me. And then as far as being up under him for the second year, I mean, who else would you want to be under than a guy that was in the position that you're going to be in within the next couple years?
Okay. All right. It looks like we lost him temporarily once again, but let's see. Is he coming back? Okay, we'll bring him back on, guys. But I do know from talking to Coach Rob personally, he thinks highly of Andrew, and a lot of people do as well.
Miss
There we
Mosey,
go.
There we go. Okay, can you hear us, Andrew?
y'all can hear me?
Yes.
Mhm.
I don't know why I can't hear you. All right, I'm gonna just keep going though. But who else would y'all rather play than the guy that's been in the position that you're finna be in, playing in the league 10 years and then doing it at a high level at that? I feel like that just the tempo and then having other coaches on the staff that's played in the league as well. Like you're surrounded with greatness.
Mm.
And you got guys that want to get better every day. And you got a coach that's gonna motivate you, sometimes over motivate you, and got you wanna go crazy, jump through a wall. Like literally, I still remember to this day we were playing North Carolina Central. I'm pretty sure you remember the game, Mr. Mosley.
Yeah.
So I had got out the game because I was tired. So I'm taking a knee right by him. He tell me, he tap on me, he was like, "Buddy, what you doing?" I'm like, I'm catching my breath, coach. What you mean? He was like, "Man, ain't nobody work harder than you." Da 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 da. He didn't gave me a little speech right there. Literally, I go back in the game, go score that same play. So it's like when you got a coach around you like that, and then I got an offensive coordinator, Coach Chris Barnett. He's a great mind with the game. So you got coaches around you like that. You ain't got no choice but to be great. Literally.
Yeah.
And I don't expect nothing less. Like coach will ask me what do I need from him? Just hold me accountable. Hold me
Well,
to
that's
this
great.
standard and I'm gonna do the rest.
That's great, man. Great. Well, I tell you what, Andrew, we can chop it up a little bit later, and I love everything about your game. You know, your family to me. So we wish you well. We wish you to have a healthy year, and we want to see you guys sting as many people as you can. You know, you Hornets like to sting people,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
but put it out there and just do well. And also whatever you need from us at HBCU Legends, you know we're here to support you. Okay.
Most definitely, Miss Mosely. I appreciate you. Y'all have a blessed one.
All
Yes, sir.
right. That's
You-
Mr. Andrew Body, and you'll see him on the field this year with Alabama State Hornets. We'll be back in a few minutes and we'll talk to Miss Kim Davis of Chalk Talk. All right. Thank you, Andrew. Take care. All right. Okay, Cal, any last thoughts on the interview with Andrew?
You know what? I gotta say, piggybacking off of what I was saying earlier before Andrew popped back in. Nah, man. Even after we just spoke, something that stuck with me. He brought up accountability. That shows a high level of maturity. It takes a lot to talk about accountability as a younger person. So him bringing that up and saying that he's willing to take that accountability and keep moving forward, yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. We're going to see great things for him this season, I believe.
Yeah, definitely. All right. This young lady that we're about to bring in at this time, you know, I love her to death. So she's a part of our Black Sports Insiders crew, but I'm so proud of her. I am. This is one of these personal interviews that I am proud of, Kyle, because she is now an author. If you guys didn't know this, Kim was the first Black female sports reporter on television in Houston, Texas. The first. She's good friends with Zena Garrison, Lori McNeil. She started her career at Texas A&M, and she was going to be a tennis star. Well, unfortunate accident and had to pivot. And she is now here to talk about her life and what she says here, Kyle. My love language is with sports. It's complicated. Well, let's see how complicated it is. How you doing, Kim? Oh, we can't hear. Okay, go ahead.
I'm good. How are you?
Oh, good to see you.
It's the Kyles. It's the Mosleys.
How you doing?
I'm
You know your
good.
boy had to
You know, I'm
be
always
here.
asking about you.
Yeah, she does all the time.
I know I'm on your mind, Miss Kim. I know.
I'm like, okay, how is he?
Thank you.
Yeah, we'll you're gonna have to talk to that boy. I'll tell you a little bit later, but but he's doing great. Kim, the book is outstanding. I haven't read everything yet, but I read a lot, and I'm so a book like this. Your transparency, number one, about all the things that you've gone through, and I love the affirmations that you have at the end of the chapters as well as
Thank
positive
you. Yeah.
reflections, and we'll go over a few of those. But just talk about the inspiration for the book.
So, first of all, I'm glad you are enjoying it, and you know, the inspiration was really my mom. You know, she and Zena. They've always. I'm a storyteller, and so for years they've been saying, "You got to write. You should be writing stories. You should be writing books." I mean, like for decades. And I've had people throughout my career along the journey ask me about, like, you should write a book. I just would like to know about your story and your journey. And so I didn't for the longest. A little bit of humility, but also I had to figure a way that it could be a book about something other than just, hey, look at me, here's my life. And nothing wrong with people who tell their stories, but for me, the way I'm wired, and I'm really am a journalist, the stories usually aren't about us. So I had to find a way that I could tell the stories, tell some stories, because of course I couldn't tell all of them because then people wouldn't read it. It'd be too much. Um, but to tell stories about the journey that were, one, as you said, transparent and authentic, but they didn't sound like I was complaining. I chose this path. I knew it would be challenging. And, that was on me. It was something that I wanted to do. So when I finally found a way to say, okay, if I can tell the story this way, give people lessons from the field. So you don't have to be a journalist or you don't have to be in sports. The way that I sum it up, Kyle, is I say, if somebody is going to having to navigate a space that wasn't designed for them, then this book, I think, can help you. So that was why I wrote it, and how I was able to finally be okay writing a book about myself. And now I can go on and write some other stories.
Awesome, awesome, Kyle.
I wanted to ask you a question. So you spoke about how this book it can be like a guide for people who are working in spaces that are not built for them, or built to help them succeed specifically. So I know for one, I'm looking forward to reading your book, because I know there are a lot of spaces that of course aren't engineered for people of color like ourselves. So
Yeah.
I want to say I'm thankful that you've written this, because I know tons of Black women in the professional field that is not catering to them in the proper way that respects them. So I'm definitely going to recommend this book to a few of my friends, because if that's what you're talking about, then it needs to be heard.
Thank you. Thank
Yes,
you
ma'am.
for that.
Yeah, definitely. Kim, you were you're like a trailblazer and a pioneer in so many ways. Could you just touch on like some of the early things, how you persevered through and have been so resilient?
So, you know, once I decided, when I first went to college, my major was petroleum engineering, right? Because I was a really good student and really good in math and science, and that's what you should be, and you're gonna make a bunch of money.
Yeah.
So I had lots of offers, academically as well. And I went to Texas A&M, and I was going to be a petroleum engineer. And I went through the first semester, and I was like, yeah, I don't want to do this. These people are going to be strange. Nothing against engineers. Some of my best friends are engineers, right?
Yeah.
So I called my parents and I said, I really don't want to be an engineer. I really do. I was always interested in journalism. It was law and politics, and it was sports journalism. And so my parents said, okay, well, if you're willing to do the work and do what it takes, we support that. Just remember, you live within your budget, your means, and we live within ours. And they're basically telling me, because you're going to be broke. And so you're not going to be able to still have all the things that you like. But anyway, so I knew that's what I wanted to do. And so I set out to learn as much as I could, really long internships. I wanted to know how a product went from conception to air, so I could understand it and know that this is really what I did want to do.
Okay.
And so I did that. Kyle, we're the same kind of age where your parents told you if you go to school and get an education and work hard, you can do it.
That's
There's
right.
a whole lot more to it than that.
Yes.
But I worked with that in mind. I always wanted to be prepared and qualified and do all the things I could to give myself the best shot to be successful. And so early on, I didn't really think about it. Here are the logistics. I wanted to work in television. I was going to have to go to a smaller market. I grew up in Houston. I worked at the station in Bryan, College Station, when I was in college. But when I came back, I graduated. I needed to go to a smaller market. Well, most small markets have 2 people in their sports department. And the chances of that news director making one of those 2 people me was really slim to none.
Right.
Because it was different. I wasn't what they were used to. And it wasn't a conspiracy. It just wasn't what was happening back then. So I went to print because I thought if I write for newspapers, it's going to give me credibility as a journalist. And I think it did that. Also, I did some early talk radio. I met Ralph Cooper early in my career, and I was writing for a weekly newspaper, and I was also doing some writing for the Houston Post. I'm dating myself, but I did write for the Houston Post.
Wow,
And
Houston Post. That's a long time.
A long time ago. I was 12, y'all. I was 12. And I covered the Oilers, and I would go on the road with the team. I covered the team on the road.
Wow.
So I would call in to Ralph's show on Friday so that Sports Rap, would have a presence on the road. So I did things with Ralph. Butch Woolfolk, if you remember him, he and I did a weekly Houston Oilers show on the station. And over the years, I just found ways to do this thing I wanted to do, like work all the time, had lots of jobs. And so I felt like, how is somebody going to just tell me no? You can't tell me no. I'm going to do this. And so I just kept pushing. And I was initially, it was kind of, I was stubborn in that regard. Like, how can you tell me no when I know I'm qualified, when I'm working hard, when I'm willing to learn, I stay late, I come early. Tell me again why I can't do this. And that was my attitude.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
it worked for a while.
And it's still working. I love it, man. Think about it. And we just celebrated Women in Sports Day just recently, right?
Right, July 7th.
Should be a whole month of that, really. But Kim, you went through a lot of trials and tribulations, but to think that you were covering the Houston Oilers on a regular basis, traveling with the team as a Black woman in this business is just phenomenal.
Yeah, it was. I didn't really think of it back then as that. It was like, oh, so I need to go on the road because they have games and I need to be where everybody is. And Kyle, I still kind of approach what I do that way. I'm going to go to Texans training camp, when they go to West Virginia, because I feel like you just got to be in the room or on the field or on the sidelines to really get a taste of what's happening a lot of places. And that was always my approach. And so that's really what I've tried to do. Listen, I covered the 2 Houston Rockets championships.
Wow.
Hopefully I'll get to cover another one. But I was in Madison Square Garden for Game 6, Rockets and the Knicks in the finals when there was the OJ slow chase. And we were all in the media room, huddled around, because there were no flat screen TVs on the wall. We were huddled around this television watching this split screen because back then, like no, we're gonna play. I
The
think
game was
the
will
game
go
was
on.
on,
Yeah.
and I think that was back when Dallas was still on. But anyway, so you had the game on, and then you had the chase, and we were like, "Wow, this is so like." I remember those things. That was
Yeah.
all a part of the journey of my career. But I covered some championships, and I'm hoping to cover some future Rocket championships.
Yeah, well, Texans they want to have a part in the championship as well with
I'd be good
Mr.
with that.
CJ Stroud, right?
Yeah.
So, but that's just something that is historic. You're being able to cover and be there and do it in such a great fashion for everybody. Um, Talk about some of the influential people who help you along the way. You mentioned Ralph Cooper, which Ralph helped me as well.
Yeah.
So, and he's helped so many other people. Talk about the other people that really were important in your journey.
So, I got a chance to do some work with BET Sports back when BET Sports was really when BET was really a news network, right?
Okay.
And we had the show called the Budweiser Sports Report. It preceded sports reporters on ESPN. So they would fly me up from Houston for that show, and I worked with Mike Wilbon and Bill
Really?
Roden and Thomas George and Brian
Wow.
Burwell, who's deceased now, and just a number of what I call giants in the business. And that's how I got to have relationships with those guys, and I learned a lot from them. And so I learned from them. I was super excited and fortunate to be able to be in the room with them. But Kyle, back then when we would go to NABJ, it was very different. Or if we would cover a Final Four, we would always get together, the group of us, not just us, but Black sports reporters and producers and production people, and have kind of our little own kind of informal powwows. And sometimes, I remember sitting in a room with George Ravlin and John Chaney and just talking about history and stuff they dealt with. And of course, Arthur Ashe, who I knew because I played tennis and he used to come to Houston. But
Wow.
those were the people that we got a chance to spend time with. And they didn't show up as celebrities or stars. We were all in this thing like learning from each other. And so I got a chance to soak up a lot of that knowledge. And I knew it was cool then, but later, especially when I reflect on it now, how incredible that was. To
That
be able
was.
to sit at the feet of some of those people. And for somebody now, like a Bill Roden or a Mike Wilbon, to call me a friend and a colleague, because I think they're giants in the industry. So I had a chance to learn from some of them. And I don't know if you remember Max Edison, if you knew Max at all. Max used to write for The Defender, but Max and
Not
I
familiar with Max.
hosted a show called Sports Timeout. It was a live daily sports talk show, 2 hours. And
For 2 hours. Wow.
for 2 hours, Monday through Friday, from 4 to 5, 4 to 6. And so Tony Wiley used to always joke and say, you guys were his and hers before there was the his and hers, And so I remember working with Max, and he unfortunately passed away right before the pandemic in 2019. And he was really like a brother, and so Max and I, and, just different people in the business. I'm going to tell you this, and I don't even know if I put it in the book, but prior to D'Amico Ryans, because I can say he is my favorite NFL coach. But prior to him, my favorite coach in the NFL was Buddy Ryan, because I got a chance to work with Buddy Ryan when he was a defensive coordinator for the Oilers. And back then, we sit around at the practice and we talk about sports, and we talk about a lot of things because there was no social media. It wasn't going anywhere. And you just get to learn from these people who knew so much. Buddy Ryan used to send me Christmas cards every year.
Really?
Until I knew so much and we lost touch. But, like those kind of memories, or when George Foreman was making his comeback and I did this takeout piece for the Post and I got a chance to hang out with him for a couple of days and his trainer.
Wow.
Just the people that are just historic, and many who've passed on. George Sifford, the golfer, Charlie Sifford, rather, who's
Yeah. Just
scenario.
past. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, just to be able to sit with them and have conversations was just amazing. Those are the kind of things that have really made a difference in my career.
Guys, we are here with Kim Davis, author, but sports reporter, journalist / everything. Uh, she's tremendous. She does her job very, very well. And Kim, I did not know you had the sports report, like you said, for 2 hours long. I'm like, where was I at? How did I miss that here in Houston?
This was before. When did you come to Houston?
89.
Okay, so you would have been here. It would
Yeah,
have
but
been
I was
early
working
90s.
a lot. So,
Oh yeah, yeah.
so yeah, as a recruiter, so I did miss a lot of TV. Trust me. But Kyle, just listening to Kim, what are your thoughts? How do you feel?
The more as I was listening, and as you spoke, and I'm hearing these stories, and I'm hearing these names, and I'm like, the one, of course, that rings true with me is Ralph Cooper, because we all know and love Ralph.
Yeah.
We love him to death, and he's put each one of us on in some way, shape, or form. And as you're telling your stories, and you're talking about how when the Oilers were on the road, you went to every game. I was like, the dedication is the biggest. That was the word that came to mind. Dedication. It's the biggest thing to me. You're so dedicated to your craft and your art, and it's inspiring for me as an artist myself. It's very rare, very inspiring, and it's very rare to find somebody who's that dedicated to their art in the process of evolving and growing while learning from others. Like, you don't have an ego. You are so humble, and that is something, I think that's the biggest thing I should take away. The ability to be that humble with strong gift inside of you. Like, that's insane.
Thank
That's
you.
so, like, yeah. But truly, thank you more than anything for talking to me at that Rice game. I think that was the first time we met.
That's the first time we met. It was freezing in there too.
Cold.
Yeah, it was a marg. It was a marg in there.
It was freezing. TSU was not their finest hour.
No, but the band was fantastic. Were they not? The band sounded great that day.
Coach Dishman,
that's the one takeaway, right, Kyle?
He was very excited. He said the band sounded great. I don't know about no team, but the band was fantastic.
Yeah, Coach Dishman said that. Right?
He said that. He said, "Hey, listen,
the band
outstanding."
Us,
funny game,
not so much.
Oh
so,
man.
Yeah. Well, let's look at a couple of things here. I wanted to just bring this up. Let's see if I can add that. Okay. Now, this is one that caught my eye. One of the things in your book, you say, understanding the language of sports, finding your voice, and showing up even when the odds aren't in your favor. Talk about that.
So, I think the sports is so much more than just what we see on a field or a court, right? I think it is, it gives us so many tools and, discipline, commitment, knowing how to fight the right way, all of those things you get from it. But when you understand it, there's also a language to it, right? There's a language of sports. And so the people that consider themselves experts or, it's because they know how to speak the language. And really years ago, that's why I started Chalk Talk, to help women understand the language of sports.
Okay.
Right. It was really because all those the years that Max and I did this call-in radio show, we would have a fair amount of women to call in because they knew that there was at least one person, and Max was good too, but who would have a conversation with them and not make them feel like you don't belong here. So I felt after that, like, you know what? Because as a woman, I know that we learn differently. We process information differently. So let me help them understand the language of sports, and they can use that in different places. It can help them to find their voice and where they should show up, and how to use some of those things we see from athletes and coaches in this vast world of sports, how they use those things to propel themselves to the next level, anybody can use it. But understanding how to take that language, the stuff that we talk about, the stuff that you hear coaches and players say, and use that to find your own voice and make your own way, even when it's not in your favor. Because how many players do we know that things aren't in their favor? And Kyle and both of you, how many times do we say, can we say that, you know what? These professional athletes or these collegiate athletes, they're talented, they're great. But I know some guys who had this much talent or more, they just didn't make it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. A lot of times. Okay. When you spent your career challenging and the status quo, you don't wait for validation. I like that. You become the standard. Don't wait for validation. A lot of times, I think somebody and a lot of young people, especially once they want to get into media, I've heard they want to be on ESPN, or they want to be in front of the camera and all this other stuff. But you said something that was key. You had to figure out a way to get the validation or the credibility. So you didn't go the traditional routes all the time.
Yeah.
You found a way to be able to get your voice out there through print, through writing as well. Talk about that.
Yeah, you just can't wait for somebody else to say, okay, Kim, now we approve. Because what if nobody ever does that? Right? So you have to become your own standard. But what that also means is you've got to put in the work. Like Kyle said, you've got to really be good at your craft. The biggest thing I tell young people and say, hey, would you tell me if I'm trying to be in the business? And I said, I would say, know your craft. Always work at it. I still work at it, right? Always work at it. Pursue excellence, not perfection, but pursue excellence in your craft. If you want to be a reporter, be a really good storyteller and a writer. Learn how to produce, know how to make it work, and know how to work with the people that help you get what you're getting done. If you're working in television, be the reporter that's going to help the photographer carry his or her equipment. Mm-hmm. Right? Don't be the star. Don't have the star mentality. Yeah. And so you become the standard, and you don't have to wait for validation. People are going to want to work with you and are going to want to have your product and have you around because you become the standard, and you're not waiting for them, and you're not waiting for the numbers on social media that say you're great. That's the other thing. I didn't have social media in my career earlier, but I run into that now, and people want to put you in a box that you're not quite worthy enough because you don't have enough followers.
Yeah, it's so funny you said that. There was an athlete that HBCU reporters covered diligently for the past 3 years. And now they're going to Division I. And I asked their representatives, hey, can I just have a final interview with their transition and talk about it with them? Well, we're really looking for national profiles. We really want someone on ESPN or a higher level to be able to talk with. That's like, you're not understanding you're doing the same type of discrimination that you fought against before, and you're doing it to us who really was there for you. I was just blown away. I couldn't understand that. But the thing is, guys, don't wait. If you know you're putting out great content, you're trying to refine your craft or learn your craft, just keep working on it. Keep working on. I ran into a lot of roadblocks. I ran into a whole lot of roadblocks, but I never let it deter me. Never let it stop me. You got to be a little stubborn, right?
Well, you know what, Kyle? You also have to know that there's value in what you do.
That's right.
And the audiences you share with, those audiences matter. And there's value with those audiences. And they deserve the kind of content that you're going to give them, that we're going to give them. And if people realize, you know what, especially now with the internet and with streaming, if they do an interview with you and it runs on your platform first, then they can run it someplace later. that doesn't really matter. That's just because you're not willing to put in any of the work. To
Yeah.
me,
Yeah. I
Exactly.
agree. I agree. Kyle?
Well, I mean, I agree. Perception and or let me change that. Actually, perspective is everything. Actually,
yeah.
especially from the social media perspective of things. For me, I'm younger. I dabble in journalism. I'm getting deeper, and I do mainly performance content. So when I'm looking on my TikTok, and I'm like, man, my post is not blowing up, and it's about my articles, and then I post something silly and it's blowing up. I'm aggravated, and I'm like, I know my work had merit though, and
Yeah.
and I'm happy you touched on that, because if you don't have value in your own work, how are other people gonna value it? If you don't value yourself, how can we value you? And like that's really important. So I'm happy you touched on that, and making sure you stay encouraged while working through the avenues of social media and traditional journalism.
I think that's so smart. And, every social media platform has its own personality, right? They perform for certain audiences and they differ. Now, there's some similarities with Instagram and TikTok, but there's still some differences. So, where you put your information, it performs certain ways based on what the content is. And but if you're telling good stories, and the problem now is so many people are caught up in the numbers and they discount you when you
The
don't have
quality.
the great numbers, right?
Yeah,
They
they're
feel
just
like
the quality of the work is
absolutely
being overlooked sometimes. They're looking for the entertainment value.
right. And they're really looking they're when you talk about followers, they really are followers. They follow who people follow. It's not always based on even the entertainment value, Kyle. I think it's, oh, well, this person's got a lot of followers. They must be doing something
Right.
spectacular. I better
Right. Right.
follow as well. And they don't stop to really evaluate what is the content, what's the context, can I get anything from this? And maybe I can't, but I'm not going to discount it because it doesn't have a lot of followers. But that is unfortunately where we are now, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
So we
The
just keep
numbers
plugging
game.
away, man. The people that need to see it'll see it.
Exactly.
Okay. And finally, toward the end of your book, you have these little sayings, right?
Mhm.
Running the play has never been about getting everything right. Speak on that.
Um, just because you show up and you do the work, it doesn't mean that you get it all right all the time. I mean, I did a lot of things, and if I were to look now, I'm like, man, I probably should have done that differently. But it's okay. But it's about you gotta run the play. It's like when they're on the field and the offensive coordinator has sent in a play and CJ Stroud is standing there under center and then he's got to call an audible. He just gotta run the play. He can't wait too long trying to get it right because, well, a few things happen. You get sacked, you turn the ball over. I mean, a lot of bad things happen when you kind of wait, right? So you've got to just go through with the play and know that what you see matters. Your voice matters. Your vision matters, and run the play. It won't be the last play. It may not be the greatest play. It could be, but there'll be other plays. But you got to
Right.
just run it.
Right. Right. Your vision matters, your voice matters, and this moment, it's yours. I was like, okay, I'm starting to, I felt it. I felt it. And I understand where you're coming from. But when you say you've already started, a lot of you guys out there have already started your journey.
Yeah.
And I think in this part of life, sometimes you just don't know if this is the right thing you're doing, or you get hit left and right and you go through some ups and downs, but that's the ebbs and flows of life as well. If you feel passionately, if you think you have the voice and you have the talent, just keep going through, because sometimes when you go through the storm, it's better to be able to say, hey guys, I went through this storm, I'm a testimony, and you can be able to go through it too, just
Yeah.
like Kim. Think what all the things you've gone through, Kim, and where you are
Yeah.
today. You're such an inspiration to so many people.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate that. I try to just do the work and to enjoy it. I mean, if I didn't enjoy it, if I didn't think my voice mattered, that's the other thing. Our voices all matter. Our perspectives matter, and we need to be in the room.
Yeah,
And because other people need to hear these different stories from these different perspectives and with these different voices. And I feel really strongly about that. And so if this is something that you like, and whether this is if your thing is media, or maybe your thing is you're in the tech space and they're not super friendly to black women for sure, not even black men, but you like, this is my space. Well, run your play and find your space and make it work. Don't let somebody tell you what you can or can't do. Just find your way.
definitely. All right. Any last thoughts, Kai?
I'm sorry,
Any
you cut
last,
out.
any last thoughts?
Well, Miss Kim, I want to say thank you again for coming on
Aw.
the show and gracing us with your presence. Let me shower you with compliments one more time. But I really want to say, there's I didn't speak about this earlier, but when we first got on, you talked about how it was hard. The work is hard, but you kept doing it. Too often, our young people, when it gets hard, we like to quit. Social media has shown us that quitting is too easy. So I'm thankful that you are making sure to get the message out there to keep working hard. Iron sharpens iron. If you're not around the right people, what are you doing? So thank you, and I'm trying to be around you. So I
Aw, you're gonna make me cry. Thank
okay,
you. I
you,
appreciate
you
that.
can't cry on the show. You got to do it when we get
That's
off,
right. There's no crying in baseball or in whatever this is, right?
whatever this is, whatever's going on.
Interesting. Guys, if you don't see Kim, if you're here in the Houston area, you can see her a lot of times on, is it KHOU?
So KHOU, Sports Extra, and occasionally on Sports Sunday on KPRC. Mostly on Sports Extra, and then sometimes on Fox in the mornings,
With
um,
Nate Griffin.
with Nate. And I've got to catch up with Isaiah soon, so he won't start saying I'm acting funny. When I don't go for a
Yeah,
while, you're acting funny. So
yeah. Isaiah, I think his producer said, Mr. Mosley, you haven't been on in a long time. I'm
yeah.
like, oh, yeah, I haven't. But I tell you, those are great names. Nate Griffin, Isaiah Carey, guys. Get to know who those young
Yeah.
men are. They mean a lot to us because they help with the whole process. And I think we all help one another out.
Yeah.
Ralph Cooper, 56 years now in broadcasting. Think about that, 56 years. And he, I think Cooper is one of the 6 or 7 men, black males, who have their own radio show in this country. And he's
Wow.
been doing
Yeah.
it,
And that's
such
the
a
thing.
long
There's
time.
not a lot. There's not a lot of spaces. Um, So
Yeah.
yeah, Ralph is, talk about a trailblazer. Ralph is that, and Ralph is going to do it his way. But Ralph has always tried to create opportunities for other people. That's just who he is.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. And I can always tell people I appreciate the first time I met him at one of the Texas Southern games, and we just hit it off, and he took me on his wing ever since. And I appreciate him just giving me the opportunity to have a voice out there, to be able to share my different perspectives on sports as well. All right, Kim, tell everybody how they can follow you on the World Wide Web.
So you can follow me on, let's see, if you're on Facebook or Instagram, it's Kim Y Davis Media. There's also just Kim Davis on Facebook. On X, I think that's what it's called. I still call it Twitter. It's Kim
Yeah,
Y
me
Davis.
too.
And on LinkedIn, I'm Kim Davis. Or is it Kim Y Davis? Maybe Kim Y. And the reason that I use Kim Y Davis a lot of places is because Kim Davis is a really common name, even though I'm not common, my name is. So I use my middle initial. So you can find me most places at Kim Y Davis or Kim Y Davis Media.
Yeah, I think Kyle, he usually he likes to just say Kyle Anthony. You know,
Yeah,
that's his
I go
call.
by that's my moniker, I guess. You know, that's
I
what I
like that,
by.
Kyle Anthony.
It's
Yeah.
got a little flow to it. You
Got a
feel
little
me?
ring to it. I like that. I like that.
Oh
With
my
the Who
God.
Dat Sports podcast.
You
Yeah,
guys, man. I tell you what, if you guys don't know, Kim is with us during the fall when we have the Black Sports Insiders. She's going to be still with us whenever we can catch her because she also reports on the Rockets around that time as well.
But
So,
starting early though, they won't be in season. So definitely starting off early.
okay,
You know.
cool.
And
So
this
we'll
year with
have her.
having Kevin Durant, you know, I'll be there, but I'm gonna make time for my, you know, my BSI people.
All right, cool. We need you. And guys, go get a book. Kim, how can they get the book?
So you can get it on Amazon. I've had some people say, "Yeah, I don't really do Amazon." Well, you can reach me on my website. I've got to find a way to put it there, but I also have books. And listen, if you want to have like an event, a book signing event, or if you got a group of people and you want me to come out and we can talk about the book, you know, invite me out. Let's do it. If you can get the book that way. So Amazon is one way, or you know, I found that the in-person events are kind of cool. Now the one you came to, Kyle, it was a launch. I didn't really get to do the talk about the book and take questions. I was so overwhelmed with just the fact that so many people showed up. It was amazing. I'm still really, really grateful. But I do want to do some other signing events where I can have conversations like this with people. So if you want to do that, you can hit me up on my website or Kim at KimYDavis.com. Super easy to find. And let's do something fun.
Definitely. And if you guys need some help, if you're a coach or if you're a young media professional, or if you're just aspiring to get into media, Kim listens and she also coaches, and it's a consultancy. So help her out there, guys. It's not just everything's for free. So hit her up,
But I
and she
will
does
have
a
an
great
initial
job.
conversation with people. Like, you know, if you just want to talk, hit me up, right? And let's maybe there's something you just want to know, and I can spend a few minutes doing that. I do that with people from all around the country, and I'm happy to do that as well.
Great. Now, I did want to go back to the BET. You
Yeah.
were hanging out with was Curtis Simons responsible for?
Yes. It says Curtis Simons, and then there's a Kurt Simmons. So I knew Kurt Simmons was the one. I knew them both. They were both there, and they both had roles.
Really?
I also worked with them both when Willie Gary had his network.
Okay.
It was MBC Sports. And we used to do. This was after, you know, BET kind of went off the reservation, and they had a lot of the black college games, and you know, do you have a cool pair of glasses on the back cover of your book as a souvenir? Well, you know, Sam is a good friend of mine, one of my church friends.
She just has writing on the back of the book, Sam.
Yeah, it's just writing. I don't have any glasses. I missed that, but I maybe on the second edition I'll put some glasses on the back of the book.
So what I'm hearing is the second edition is confirmed.
We're breaking news.
You just heard this
right
live.
here.
No, I did say that. Maybe I meant the next book or something, but I am writing another book, so there will be that. But I'm also launching a T-shirt line, and they're going to have glasses on it. So
okay,
there'll be glasses on the T-shirts.
Bet.
That's what we'll do.
Now, if you don't know, man, Kim can bedazzle a drinking cup as well, man. So she does that very well.
I bought it that way, so I can't claim that's not my gift. Yeah, you know, my gift is telling stories, and my gift is cooking. My gift is not that kind of artistry, but I can find it.
Excellent. All right, Kyle, tell everybody how they can find you on social media, man.
Oh, well, I was about to tell them how they could find me in person. You know, hey, I'm gonna drop that. I'm kidding. I won't drop my address.
Go ahead.
No. My mom will be very upset. Y'all, I can't do that. All right. So if you want to locate me on Instagram, you can find me at Kyle Anthony Mosley. And then on X, formerly known as Twitter, you can find me at Mosley Kyle A. And then on TikTok, it's just Kyle A. Mosley. Kyle Anthony was not available, sadly. It was already taken. So, yeah. But you can find me on all of those platforms with those usernames.
Yeah, Kyle's a great photographer, videographer as well, and he is great at writing. He
Yeah.
surprises his father all the time when he comes up with some new uh, culture specific type of articles for HBCU Legends, but he also does some sports writing as well. So good work, son.
Hey, thank you, Captain.
All right, Kim. Thank you always, and continued success. I love the book. Can't wait to finish. But also let us know anything else we can be able to do to help you guys out. Guys, go get the book. I'm
I
telling you,
appreciate you guys. Thank you for
Get
having me. I love
get the
it.
book.
Y'all my
you will,
favorites.
yeah,
Gotta
you
see,
would
gotta
not
get to see you soon, both of you.
would not be disappointed. This is a great book. All right, I'm Kyle T. Mosley with Kyle Anthony Mosley, as well as Kim Y. Davis here at HBCU Legends, as well as the Black Sports Insiders. You guys can follow us at HBCU Legends on all social media platforms, as well as you can follow me on all social media platforms at KTMOZE. And hey, let's have a great one. We're going to have some good conversations coming up this weekend as well. Hopefully, we'll have some surprises for you. So, have a great weekend. Be safe and stay out of trouble, guys. Take care.
All right, peace.
Thank you.